What's good, AK gang? It's your boy Angelo Kimbo, and I'm back with another reaction video. And today I'm going to be reacting to 10 WWE feuds that went on forever. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button. Comment down below what other videos you guys would like to see. And smash that subscribe button and turn on your post notification bell so you never miss another upload. And let's get straight to the video, y'all.
To WrestleMania is streaming on Peacock, and it all leads.
If a feud in WWE works well, it should have the ability to go on without the fans becoming bored or frustrated with what they're seeing. However, WWE unfortunately has a poor habit of allowing a feud to go on forever, with there being no end in sight. The WWE is traditionally stubborn when it comes to certain feuds and are unable to read the room and realize that the fans are completely sick and tired of seeing the two wrestlers face off every time. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 WWE feuds that went on forever. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts. Number 10.
Make sure y'all go check out WrestleMania too. They got some good videos on their channel. Also they do like news about wrestling if you're a wrestling fan and all that other stuff. Go check them out.
Randy Orton versus Triple H. When Randy Orton was unceremoniously booted out of Evolution in 2004, Triple H became his new arch rival. However, over time, WWE revisited the rivalry so many times that fans began to resent seeing the two legends face off. The two would have their primary rivalry between 2004 to 2005, and then it was revisited in 2007 and 2008. In 2008, fans had assumed that the rivalry had come to a dramatic end, but in 2009, they once again booked the two to face off, and they would collide in the main event of WrestleMania 25. The issue here was that WrestleMania 25 didn't signal the end to their rivalry, as in the summer of 2009, they were once again feuding, main eventing the Bash pay-per-view in the process. The feud should have been legendary, but WWE decided to revisit the feud so often that it quickly lost its luster. Number 9. Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. One of Sheamus' main rivalries during his world title reign in 2012 was Alberto Del Rio.
I don't really remember this feud that much. I remember it like vague, like in 2012, and I don't remember them going back to it like that. I don't really remember. Let me know if y'all do though.
On paper, the two should have clicked, but WWE refused to end the rivalry at an appropriate time, and WWE booked the match at a number of pay-per-views throughout 2012. The feud went on, and WWE failed to add anything new to the story to generate interest. It was unbelievable to think that this was a world title feud because it just got so dull. The feud dominated WWE television, and it certainly alienated a lot of fans and made them question how much WWE truly cared about the world title. This was especially the case as while Sheamus and Del Rio were endlessly wrestling over the big gold belt, the WWE title was being decided in classic matches between the likes of CM Punk, John Cena, and Daniel Bryan. It was incredibly frustrating as a viewer. Number 8. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair. The matches between Banks...
Sasha Banks versus Charlotte was a... When I tell y'all, we as fans... They just brought up, but this was like most recent. And I remember them facing each other back to back to back to back to back. That shit was so fucking annoying.
Flair in 2016 received good reviews from fans, but the rivalry never seemed to end, and the feud was heavily criticized for negatively impacting the credibility of one Sasha Banks. The two began to feud in the summer of 2016, and WWE booked the two to wrestle on virtually every pay-per-view event between SummerSlam and Roadblock End of the Line. WWE would book the feud in an incredibly negative manner, as Banks would win the Raw Women's title on Raw and then drop it to Flair at the pay-per-view. This was the case for every single pay-per-view, and over time, this made fans realize WWE were booking the feud to elevate Flair and Flair alone. What should have been a feud that celebrated women's wrestling instead was a feud which was heavily panned due to WWE's presentation of Banks that some say she seriously struggled to recover from. Number 7. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. The central issue in the somewhat endless feud between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt was a lack of chemistry. The two would feud between 2016 to 17, and this involved a WWE title match at WrestleMania 33 that was barely passable as a TV match, never mind a match at WrestleMania. When the two revisited their rivalry in 2020 and 2021, the feud was full of outlandish moments involving fire and supernatural antics, but the match quality on display was incredibly disappointing. The two collided once again at WrestleMania 37, and the match once again was rather poor. Orton, who prides himself on his in-ring work, has gone on record to admit that he wasn't a fan of the feud with Wyatt, so hopefully they keep a substantial distance between the two for the foreseeable future. Number 6, Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns.
I hated this feud, bro. Especially with this Roman Reigns. This Roman Reigns used to piss everybody off because they was pushing them down our throats so fucking much.
November of 2019, Roman Reigns began a feud with Baron Corbin. And whilst these two are great wrestlers,
Papa John's new crispy parm pizza puts Parmesan cheese where it's never been before. On the bottom.
I'm a fighter pilot. It's not what I am. It's who I am.
as in their own right, their chemistry together left a lot to be desired. WWE would make the feud the main focal point of SmackDown, and unfortunately, this led to fans looking for the remote. WWE implemented horrendously executed comedy into their feud, including segments involving dog food, making it clear that the feud was making Vince McMahon laugh, and that's why it was dragging on forever. Corbin would defeat Reigns in a TLC match at the TLC pay-per-view, making Corbin the last man to date to pin Reigns in a 1v1 match. This should have signaled the end of the feud, but it continued on throughout early 2020, with the matches seemingly getting considerably worse, and the feud getting even more ridiculous. Number 5, Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole. One of the feuds that took up a ton of TV time on the road to WrestleMania 27 was the feud between Lawler and Michael Cole. Cole was now a villainous announcer, and he was set to face Lawler at WrestleMania 27 in Lawler's first and only WrestleMania match to date. To say that the fans loathed this feud would be an understatement, but fans were willing to accept the feud as long as it ended at Mania, and fans were happy to see Stone Cold Steve Austin involved, who acted as the guest referee in the match. However, after their awful encounter was over, WWE did the unthinkable. They continued the feud. This came after McMahon had told Cole that his match with Lawler was the worst thing he's ever seen. WWE would book 2 more pay-per-view matches between the two, including a Kiss My Foot match at the Over the Limit pay-per-view. They committed so much time to this feud, and it will without question go down in history as one of the worst feuds WWE has ever produced. Number 4, Randy Orton vs Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal conquering Randy Orton to win the title in 2017 was a move that stunned the wrestling world. But what followed was a dire feud between Mahal and Orton that negatively hindered the SmackDown product and was featured on a number of pay-per-views. Orton had worked extremely hard to try and make Mahal credible, but the matches between the two were simply not good. The two would even have a Punjabi prison match at the Battleground event, which was heavily criticized and was labeled the worst match of 2017. After months of the feud, WWE eventually decided to move on. However, WWE fans will always remember that period in 2017 when they tried to present Mahal vs Orton as one of the biggest things in wrestling. Number 3, Goldberg vs Triple H. Upon signing with WWE in 2003, it didn't take too long for Goldberg to enter into a feud with world champion Triple H. The two were set to main event SummerSlam in a 1v1 matchup, but due to an injury, the match was changed to an Elimination Chamber. Nevertheless, fans still expected Goldberg to walk out with the title, but WWE decided to have an injured Triple H defeat Goldberg to retain the title. Some fans pinpoint this as the moment where Goldberg's initial WWE run fell apart, but they did attempt to fix their mistake the next month when Goldberg defeated Triple H to win the gold. The feud went on and on for months, and it was clear that WWE had a lack of trust in Goldberg for being the top guy and were adamant on getting the gold back.
Now, I was only this was in 2003, I was only probably 1.5 turning 2 years old, so I really wasn't. Y'all get what I'm saying.
On the game. In a controversial move, the two would main event the 2003 Survivor Series pay-per-view in arguably the worst match on the show. It was a dull slug that didn't warrant a main event spot. The feud was just never ending, and fans wanted WWE to move on as quickly as possible. When the two would face off one final time in a triple threat match involving Kane at the Armageddon pay-per-view, this finally brought the feud to a close, and Triple H was now on top, making Goldberg's world title reign a complete dud. Number 2, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Boy,
WWE
from 2015, right, 2015 till now, bro. That mother flipping.
loves to act like the rivalry between Lesnar and Reigns is up there with the most iconic feuds in history. However, that simply isn't the case. The feud between the two started in 2015, and the two would have a well-received main event match at WrestleMania 31, which involved Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Then in 2018, they would revisit the feud and have the two wrestle in one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history at WrestleMania 34. The backlash was so bad to this match that the crowd turned on both men, and Lesnar was so frustrated with how the match went that he threw his title belt at Vince McMahon backstage. WWE then decided to continue the feud into 2018, with the two having one more pay-per-view match, including yet another main event match at SummerSlam. Then in 2021, they made plans for the two to feud again, this time with Lesnar as a face, which made for a much better dynamic, but WWE made the mistake of once again booking the feud to go on for far too long. They'd wrestle at Crown Jewel before seemingly settling their rivalry in the main event of WrestleMania 38. However, in the summer of 2022, WWE once again decided to feature a feud, and the two would main event the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Hopefully, with Triple H firmly running WWE creative, the feud is never rekindled, and the two stay away from each other for the rest of their respective careers. And number 1, John Cena versus Randy Orton. John Cena and Randy Orton's rivalry should have been held in high regard, as it was two of the top stars in the company competing for the number 1 spot. However, they made the fatal mistake of thinking that the rivalry needed to last for months on end and needed to be redone time and time again. Their rivalry in 2007 was well executed, and the two should have, in all fairness, ended their feud the following year at WrestleMania 24 in a 1v1 match. But it was in 2009 where the problems began. In 2009, WWE truly became obsessed with this feud, and they would wrestle on 4 separate yet consecutive pay-per-view events, with the two trading the title back and forth. In late 2013, WWE once again looked to book their favorite feud, and the two would wrestle in a number of matches yet again, including a TLC match and a negatively received world title match at 2014's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Throughout their decorated careers, both men have wrestled over 20 times, and this doesn't include house show matches. This is truly insane to think.
That's tragic. From 2000, what did he say, 2007, revisited it in 2009, came back in 2014, 2013, over 20 matches between both of them, just facing each other. That's tragic, bro. WWE, like you said with the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, we never, well, John Cena really don't wrestle no more, so there's really no, like,
about, and WWE without question ruined what could have been an immensely special rivalry between two all-time greats. But there you have it, folks. 10 WWE feuds that went on forever. Be sure to leave a...
Alright, AK gang, that's the end of this video. Let me know, if you're a wrestling fan, what was the worst rivalry on this list that went on for feels like decades. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. And again, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys like the video, smash the subscribe button, and smash that like button. And I'll see y'all on my next video. And I'm out. Peace.